Alright, so as you can see in the title, we're going to be ranking every single BO4 elixir. So there isn't nearly as much as there is in Black Ops 3, so this hopefully won't take me an hour and a half, which our Gobblegum video is going to be. You should check it out. If it is uploaded, it will already be there in the description, but if not, we will work on that shortly. But here are all the elixirs. There's only, I think, about 40-ish, so this shouldn't be too long. But let's just get right into the list because, you know, I'm the Black Ops 4 god, so what I say is law. So let's just get started with Aftertaste. And pre-patch, this was like S tier. Because if you didn't know, Aftertaste on launch made it so you could keep your perks for like any time you downed, and it wouldn't have a time limit. But after it got patched, now it'll last for, I think, 5 minutes. So, like, it's, like, way worse than the Black Ops 3 version, in my opinion. But I think it's still solid B tier, but I don't see anyone running this anymore after they nerfed it, especially since now, if you get down and revived, you just lose aftertaste. So, C tier it goes. It's not great. I don't see anyone running it anymore. Alchemical is easy A. It would be S, but, you know, you only have one activation, and it does work on wonder weapons, so it's still, like, really, really good. But it's not like S tier. It only has one activation, so yeah, but it's still solid and it's pretty easy to get from my experience, considering I think I have 100, but I'll post a real number up. But Always Done Swiftly, just another fucking trash. I still don't understand why they brought this back, but not like any of the other Gobblegum. But whatever, this thing is just garbage. Just move on. Anti-entrapments are really interesting. This one, in theory, could be really OP, like S, but it only lasts for 30 seconds, so because of that time limit, it goes all the way down to B, but it's still really, really powerful. Because if you think about it, if you just activate any trap, right, you got a huge horde, you're out of ammo, you activate this in the trap, just stand in the trap, all the zombies die. Simple. But again, it only lasts for 30 seconds, so you gotta activate it as soon as you activate the trap, not before, because if you activate it before, it's just gonna run out. So the time limit really kills this thing, but it's still really, really solid. Anywhere be here, I honestly think it's better in this game than it is in BO3. I don't know what it is, but it teleports me better, I feel, and obviously you have instant activation, so I think this is honestly better than the Black Ops 3 version. This is one of the few elixirs anyway that actually improved over the BO3 version, so I think S tier is a good spot. Arsenal Accelerator is also one of those that improved. I think on the Gobblegum tier list we put it in C, but this thing in BO4 is a solid A. As you know, specialists in this game are ridiculously overpowered, so you know, if you have Arsenal Accelerator, just pop this thing, you'll get your specialist in like 30 seconds. This thing is insanely overpowered. So yeah, easy A tier, and I see a lot of people running this. You know what? Hold on. Let me just, here we go. Yeah. Okay, configuration elation. This thing is really good, but after you get like your pack punches, I don't find it as helpful, but it's still like, I just ran it for a classified run, and it's just really nice to save points. This is just spawns a bonfire sale. So spawning a bonfire sale is always nice, and it obviously works for your whole team, so that's even better. So this thing is a solid A. Really great elixir. Bullet boost. It's actually moved up a spot. I think we had an E tier. I'm not going to add one because like who uses E, but it can actually work on your base weapons. So that makes it a lot more practical. But that being said, still never ever run this, like ever. This thing is still near worthless, but it has more use now that you can put it on base weapons and not just upgraded ones. So D tier is where it goes. Burned Out as a classic has 3 hits, and it's a classic elixir, so I think that warrants being moved up from F tier or D tier, wherever we put it, to C, because now it has 3 uses and it's classic, so it's really, really practical. And paired with Winter's Well, this thing can actually be pretty fucking helpful. So yeah, solid C tier. Great job, Treyarch, making this way better. Cashback. Cashback is really interesting, right? Because let me bring up Free Fire here for a second. They're practically the same thing, but this gives you permanent ammo and this is only temporary ammo. So by that logic, I'm gonna put this in A and I'm gonna put this in B, but this also doesn't work on wonder weapons, so maybe even C. No, I'm gonna put it in B, put this in A, and that's where I'm gonna put it. They're both really good, but they're almost exactly the same. Free Fire just gives you unlimited ammo for 30 seconds, but it doesn't work for wonder weapons. So by default, it's worse than these two, but it's just so similar I decided to pair them together. Why? If not for Gauntlet, I would never use this. What this does is it spawns two brain rot zombies, or it turns two brain rot zombies from any zombies that are near you, and it's not useless, but it only like does two zombies. If it did like 5 or maybe even like 10, that would be pretty crazy, but it only does 2, which is still enough to kill a lot of zombies. But you know, it's like, who really runs this? I run it for Gauntlet, but that's my special strategy. If you want to see that, I'll upload that. But yeah, it's a solid D tier. It's not crazy good, but it's not crazy bad either. Okay, Dead of Nuclear Winter is D. Again, just mostly for Gauntlet I use this, but normally day to day I don't, like ever. Dividend Yield. This is so much worse than profit sharing. It's actually crazy. So if you don't know how this works exactly how profit sharing works. You share points with your teammates, except it doesn't work if they're getting points. It only works if you get points. Meaning if they're not running this, but you are, they're gonna get the points from you, but you're not gonna get the points from them. That makes it so much worse. It lasts for I think 10 minutes, but it's still like significantly worse. Like, screw this gobblegum or elixir. Like, it's on borderline trash. It only works for your teammates and not yourself. So yeah, as Mr. Krabs would say, like, no, get out of here. Equipment, easy peasy A. Like, equipment are great in this game besides the monkeys. So easy. Actually, I'll put it in B because, you know, A is for our big boy max ammo and alchemical, but it's still a really solid elixir. Extra credit is put it in B because you only get one of them, but it's still really nice to have. And paired with double points, you can get 2,500 points. So it's still really nice to have, but it's not as good as it used to be. Head drama is still like questionable, but because of the camo challenges, you need to get headshot kills. This does have more use, so I will put it in C, but no higher because it's still like, it shouldn't be an ultra rare. It should be like a purple or blue, but not like the same tier as configuration lation. And that's the same thing I'm going to say about head scan. Is it is a classic, so it's practically better to run than head drama because it's classic and it lasts for 2 minutes. This lasts for 5 minutes, but again, it's ultra rare. This is classic, so they do the same thing, you know, damage to the head, insta kills. So same tier, but this has more use. Immolation got butchered this game. Holy crap. This thing has 1 use and it gives you 1 fire cell. That's it. But it's still really helpful. So B tier it goes, but it got nerfed into the ground. This thing, I feel so bad for this thing, but it's still really helpful. So B tier it goes. In plain sight, still in A tier. Maybe even S tier. I don't use it that often, but there's no denying this thing is incredibly helpful even as an uncommon. So I'll put it top of A tier, but no higher for now. Join the party's actually like Vanguard tier. Why does this revive your teammates but not give their perks back? Like, what is the point? Why is this an ultra rare? Especially when, where is it? Phoenix Up exists and it gives them their perks back. And you might say, but it can bring back dead players, but what's the point? They don't get their perks back, and I assume not their weapons either. This thing is actually worse than Impatient. This thing is worse than Impatient. Because at least Impatient you can get your weapons, but this thing is actually worse than Impatient. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this doesn't bring your weapons back, right? I don't know if it does, I wouldn't know. I never use this piece of shit, but this thing is actually worse than Impatient. Yeah, I'm done talking about this piece of shit. Vanguard tier, it's fucking worthless. Killjoy is like A tier. So the reason I'm putting it up here is not just because of Gauntlet mode, but just in general, having insta-kill in this game is great. Because of the amount of bosses on all the maps, besides the ether maps, you can like do so much with insta-kill. It has so much use in this game that I actually think is one of the best power-ups you can get. So like, it's an A tier. This is a great elixir. Licensed Contractor got a major glow up, so it's going to go straight into B. Because it repairs your shield, and repairing your shield in this game is crucial. So easy peasy B tier. They got such a glow up. Near Death Experience can go in S even despite its nerfs. It lasts for I think 5 or 10 minutes and only 5 or 5s, but it's still really good to have. And on solo I think it works better than Aftertaste, so it's still an S tier even despite its nerfs. Now you put these down here. I don't know why they're in this tier list. Now you see me also Vanguard tier. Like, why would you ever run this? Like, seriously. Nowhere but there is a Gobblegum elixir I was asking for. So I'm going to put this right next to anti-entrapment. This one spawns you to your down teammate. That's so helpful. And unlike this piece of crap right here, this is a classic. And it works, like, all the time. This thing is great elixir. Like, solid B. Perk up is A. It's just a slightly worse version of Perkaholic. So, yeah, there's nothing else to say. It just gives you 3 extra perks, or 4 extra perks, actually. So it's like easy solid A. Love this thing. Perkaholic S just gives you 4 perks and then 6 extra ones, so this is just great to have in general. Phantom Reload, F, but at least this can save you some ammo compared to these that actually do nothing. Phoenix Up, A. Well, is it even A? Yeah, actually, I would say it is because you can use it whenever you need to, compared to Phoenix Up in BO3 where you had to actually, you know, have it. So I'll put it in A for its more practical uses. Point drops. It can be helpful, but often I don't see people running this, so it just depends if you have a team that's willing to strategize. But it's not completely worthless like everything in F and Vanguard, so I'll put it into D. Pop Shocks can go in F. It doesn't have any function anymore, but it's not completely worthless, I suppose. So this thing is just stupid. It doesn't the one-shot anything, so it's just F it goes. Power Keg. Okay, I might get some disagreements on this one, but this one might be S. Because just think about how OP specialists are, and the fact that you get a power-up that gives you your specialist back. Like, it can save you the entire game. If you're about to die and you summon this thing, you won't die. Like, Power Keg is just broken. Easy S tier. Like, I would run this more often if I could. So, this thing is incredible. Power Vacuum can also go into that S tier. But S tier is starting to get full. Okay, if this gets any more full, I'll start changing up the tier list a bit, but, you know, Power Keg is great, you know? So, Power Vacuum, obviously great. And I don't think it got any nerfs either. It only lasts 5 minutes. So, not 5 rounds, but it's still crazy good. Okay, go down here. Go down tier, you fools. Refreshment. Oh, that's... So with the team, this can be good, right? Because it refreshes all your equipment, specialists, and any perks. So for a full team, this is great. But playing solo, it's slightly less great, but it's still crazy good. So I think I'll put it at the top of B because it can be helpful, but not something that's game-changing. Especially if you just run Power Keg or Power Vacuum that can get your specialist back and equipment with... Where is it? Equipment in the same tier. So I think it's in the same tier, but not too much above it. Raindrop, easy peasy lemon squeezy S. Gives you every single power up twice. Or not even, gives you once. I'm an idiot. Gives you once, but it gives you a perk, gives you points, gives you fire sale, gives you nuke, gives you everything. It's great for speedruns, it's great for gauntlet. With the extra modes I'm taking into account, it makes it more useful, because if we're just talking normal mode, then it's A. But with Gauntlet and Rush in mind, I think it's an S. It's just so great for saving time. So, yeah, easy S. Secret Shopper, now that it's fixed, it's still a B because you have to waste money to get ammo when you could just run Cashback or Chemical where you can get ammo for free. But it works for Wonder Weapons now, so I gotta put it in B. But no higher, because, again, these exist. I'll put it above Free Fire. Shield Up is a solid B. Gives you a shield. Enough said. Pretty much the same thing as this. Dropping free, easy peasy S. It literally works exactly the same, no nerfs found, so easy S. Stock option is C. This is like one of the few C's I'm actually putting on this list. It's really helpful with LMGs, but not much else. Suit Up is whatever. I've seen people use this a lot, but I can't find a ton of use for it. It gives you just 100% armor, but your specialist can do that, so why not just use Power Keg? But then again, it gives you permanently... I just never use... I don't find a use case for it, so I'll put it in D for now. Maybe I'll change my mind. Swordplay in this game is way better than it was in BO3, but not much else here, because it insta-kills, but it only insta-kills basic zombies, so it's still C tier, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Talking about regeneration, easy peasy A. This is just mandatory for any maps where it takes constant damage like 9 or Blood of the Dead. Constantly regenerating is just a great thing. So yeah, I gotta put it in A. Like, were you expecting it to be anywhere else? This is just a great, well-rounded, balanced elixir. It's not OP, but it's not Vanguard. So easy A. Temporal Gift is fucking S tier. This thing is crazy. In BL3, it was like one round use, but this lasts 5 minutes. It's a classic, and you can use it whenever you want. So yeah, just S tier. This makes every power up last longer, including double points and fire sale. Like, why wouldn't you run this? Undead Man Walking, A. It's more helpful now that Blood of the Dead exists than just the zombies being faster. So, like, it helps cool down the match and helps with Gauntlet. So, easy A. Wall power is still the same, I feel, in the sense that can be helpful, but it's not crazy good. Wall-to-wall clearance. Wall-to-wall clearance. So, I think what I'm going to do is put this here. Actually, I'm going to put it on the same tier as Fire Sale, because this is Fire Sale, but for wall weapons, including Galvanuckles and the Bowie Knife. So, it does have a lot of use, but I just don't find myself running it too much, because it's only a one-use thing. But you know what I think they should have done is combine this with Secret Shopper and make like secret wall-to-wall clearance where you can buy ammo and anything else in that short amount of period of time. That would be a great elixir, but as it is, it's like B tier. Wall power can also stay in C because it can be more helpful in this game, but it's not crazy useful. And then our last one, Who's Keeping Score, can just go in C because again, it's a great elixir, but you got extra credit, immolation, just anything else for points, raindrops. Just overall, it's not great, but it's not useless either. I might drop it to D, honestly, just because. Nah, I'll put it in C. But this is pretty much the list. I think I'm gonna put anywhere but here in A, right here, and then just leave these up here because this is getting really crowded. So this is pretty much the tier list. I think this is pretty definitive. There are some that you could probably switch, like Aftertaste. You can put it in B or C, maybe D, but no lower. Always on Swiftly, I wonder if it's in Vanguard tier because, like, it's borderline worthless. But everything else here I think is pretty solid. This was a pretty quick tier list. Again, it doesn't have as many Gobblegum or Elixir, so, you know, it's only like 40 compared to BO3's like 60 plus. So that video is going to be like an hour, but this one, hopefully, it's like less than half an hour. But you can see Temporal Gift, Shopping Free, Raindrops, all of these right here. So this is a solid list, I think. But if you have any disagreements, please let me down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please slap that like button. And if you enjoy tier lists like this, you should subscribe because you will see more tier lists in the future and the Spider-Man 2 review, which will be coming soon, I promise. So, yeah, I think this is the tier list. Power Keg is what I'm wondering if I should keep it here, but you know what? Whatever. This is going to be the tier list. If you guys disagree, just leave a comment down below, but I'll see you guys in the next one.